big transparency update on one of the changes we're making this year. Watch this video. It's going to be awesome. Yeah, I'm really excited about this stuff I'm going to share with you. And before I do, I want to say the applications, speaker applications are closed. We've got a ton. I'll get to that too. But that also means we sent out the links to the recordings from last year. Those 10 recordings that we sent to everybody who's already signed up, you should have received those. So if you have not received those, check your spam. And if you don't see them there, reach out to us. But if you have signed up for HypnoThoughts Live already, if you signed up in person or you just signed up in the last couple of weeks, whatever it is, you should have received a link from us to 10 audio recordings. And if you don't have that, reach out to Stephanie. She'll get you straightened out. But sounds like everybody's got them and everybody's enjoying them so far, which is great. And by the way, they are great recordings. So I hope you listen to them. Cool. Now, speaker applications. The spreadsheet is 3,600 lines long. And that means we have to make decisions about 3,600 lines. And I want to be really clear about this. That doesn't mean we're reading them. It means we're thinking about them. And I know that each one of those lines represents one of you. I know that each one of those lines represents a topic that you care a lot about, that you've worked hard on, that you have put effort in order to help people. And so we're figuring out what we want to do with how we're going to organize that. And that's my job. It's one of the jobs. So it's a big number, obviously. So I just want, again, transparency. So I want to talk about a couple changes we're going to make this year. The first one is easy. I already mentioned it once, but I want to just underscore it and make sure you guys know this. This year, the conference will not start at 8 a.m. anymore. We're starting at 9. We're going to start at 9 a.m. because that's way better. I'm an early bird. I wake up about 5 in the morning, 6 in the morning without an alarm anyway. So it's easy for me to get up. But let's be honest, it's Vegas. People want to get a little extra sleep. And what we're going to do is have the vendor room open from 8 to 9 with our coffee and donuts and stuff like that, or the muffins, whatever we have there. So it means there's going to be better dedicated vendor time, which I think is great because we have amazing vendors supporting us. And we want to be able to support them. So more high quality vendor time in the morning is happening. And we're going to go 9 to 6 instead of 8 to 5. So we're pushing everything back an hour because we can. So we're gonna. That's that. But that's easy. Now I want to talk to you about the thing that is the big change, which is first-time presenters and panels. So like I told you guys before, we had a record number of first-time speaker applications this year, which is great. And we really pride ourselves on getting more first-time presenters than any other conference. That's what we do. And if you look at the other conferences, they follow our lead on this. And by that, I don't mean they add that many first-time presenters. No. I mean, they look at who our presenters are because they know we do a good job of paying attention and curating. And there have been a lot of fabulous people that have gotten their start at HypnoThoughts Live. And I'm not taking credit for their success. And I've said this in a couple of videos over a couple of years. I don't take credit for them being awesome. They're awesome and they would have been awesome anywhere. I do take credit for helping find them and put them in a position to show people how awesome they are. And I take a lot of pride in being part of that in their journey and giving people feedback and all those things. So in the speaker application form this year, one of the things we said was, have you ever presented before at HypnoThoughts Live? And like I said, we got a number of first-time presenters that is just plain crazy. And so here's what we're going to do. I already mentioned a little bit about this, but I'm going to show my work here. Panels. We're going to do panel discussions with about 4 people on a panel. We're just starting to organize them now, but it's going to be about 4 people on a panel. And at least one of those people is going to be very established on that topic. Great. And then at least one person on that panel is going to be a first-time presenter. Usually it's going to be 2 first-time presenters are going to get a shot there. That does a couple things. The first thing it does, it means that those first-time presenters are going to present to a more full room than they otherwise would have had. Because we have a lot of people who are first-time presenters who present to 4 or 5 people. Because we've got a dozen rooms going at a time, and they're the 12th most well-known presenter. And so they're very excited to come present at HypnoThoughts Live, and then they have 4 people in the room. And that's tough. And it's tough to make a name for yourself 4 people at a time. And so we're going to have, an established presenter help bring in more crowd. Also, that established presenter is going to help keep things on the rails and help make sure that the audience is getting good value. It also means we're going to have moderators in that room and a couple people in that room that are sort of our people that are going to give us feedback. And that means all these first-time presenters are going to get more feedback, and we're going to get more feedback about them. They're going to get more exposure, and they're going to get less risk. So we're going to have more talks by first-time presenters than ever. But those talks are going to be supported by established people who can be involved. We're going to make sure that all those people are aware of their panel and co-panelists well before the conference starts. So if they want to collaborate in advance, they can. If they just want to show up on the day, they can. I've been on panels that have done both, and whatever those panelists want to do, we're going to trust them. I've talked to one person who's going to help moderate the panels, and I'm sincerely excited. He and I have been talking for a couple years about what's the best use of his skills at HT Live. And we've always said, I don't want to just have you do a thing just for the sake of doing a thing. I want to make the most out of how awesome you are. And this is exactly it. I'm going to talk about him in a different video. This isn't about him. This video is about this process. So I'm very proud of this idea because it means that we get to continue to be a platform for new presenters. It means that those new presenters get they get a better chance of getting on the right track. It also means that they can go to all other conferences, including ours next year, and they say, I've been a presenter at HypnoThoughts Live before. And that's useful. In this world of conferences, it's about where you've already presented. And it's just easier for conference presenters to say, he's a known quantity, she's a known quantity, this is a new person, this is an established person. And so helping those people get started and to do so in a way that doesn't put the attendees at risk of sitting in a bad talk. Because where our negative feedback comes from historically is more likely to be a first-time presenter than an established presenter, and that makes sense. But we've always wanted to take that risk and give all the other value. And this helps de-risk the attendance of an attendee walking into a first-time presenter they've never heard of because they know the other support features are there. And so that's really it. It's a handful of pieces. So we're starting at 9, not 8. 8 to 9, there's going to be coffee and stuff like that in the vendor room and better vendor time in the morning. We're still going to have the vendor time in the afternoon. That still stays. And we're not going to have any 4-hour talks that are going to get interrupted by that vendor time. We've solved that too. That's a different video. But 9 a.m. start with panel talks throughout the day. And these panel talks will be moderated, supported by established presenters, facilitated by new presenters. Everyone's going to get greater exposure to new ideas, new perspectives, new topics, new voices. This is how a community supports each other. And it takes a lot to go through this, 3,600 lines of speaker applications and turn that into something that you're excited to be a part of. And that's going to be a big part of what I'm working on for the next little while. What am I on? I'm on 500 right now, 500, 600 right there. But I'm on my first round of going through. So you go through real fast the first time, get a good, sort of thumbnail sketch of everything. And I'm only on like 500 or 600. This is going to be a real project. And it is every year and it's exciting. And you'll be getting more updates from me as we go. And about like how many 1-hour talks we're going to do and how many 2-hour talks we're going to do, how many 4-hour, how many panels. Like, we've got a sort of a rough sketch of that now, but I want to have the content help dictate that a little bit. And so that's the game we're playing. Thanks for watching this. And again, if you didn't get your recordings, even though you're already signed up, reach out to Stephanie and she'll take care of you, but you should have it by now. Or check your spam first. Thanks, And I'll talk to you next week.